Today, another live. We have a juicy conversation today. Um, this one's going to be all about something that I hear people talk about all the time when they're dealing with back pain. And really, that's just does yoga actually help me? Can yoga help my back pain? Will yoga help solve my back pain? This is the $1 million question. And so I talk to people all the time who they say they're going to start taking their back pain seriously, and they say, I'm going to yoga class, or they say my doctor told me to start going to yoga, so that's what I'm doing. And so the topic of today is literally going to be around that exact thing. Just, hey, is yoga a good thing to help you solve your chronic back pain? So we're going to go over what's good about yoga, what might not be good about yoga, but at the end of the day, I want to provide you with as much information as possible. I'm going to give you my opinion, of course, as well, but we'll try to keep it fact-based and some opinion-based. Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of my opinion on this one. All right. So realistically, yoga. What do we make of it? Should we be doing it if we have back pain? What's the pros and the cons of it? That's the discussion that we're going to have right now. Okay. So let's jump into it. If you're tuning in because you've tried yoga before, maybe, or maybe it was recommended by a doctor, or maybe a friend who said, "Hey, try yoga. It's really good. It's going to help you out." You're in the right place because I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to give you the rundown of what you need to know so that you can actually make an informed decision. Okay, well, what is yoga anyways? I mean, yoga is a pretty like wide ranging term. Like yoga is kind of like saying like working out, right? Working out is a whole bunch of things. Like, I mean, when you work out, you could be doing all different types of strength training. You can be doing running. It's just a generic term for a practice that's used. And realistically, it's not just one thing. Okay. And so technically, it's an ancient mind body practice, right? So it's combining physical postures, breath work, mindfulness. For people with back pain, it can offer a lot, right? It can improve your flexibility, even improve your strength in some cases. It can have a calming effect on the nervous system. It can, relieve tension and relieve guarding. There's a lot of stuff. It can really help with core activation and hip activation. Okay. And so realistically, like, there's some studies out there that support this, that, pain, when done, people who have pain, yoga can reduce it, right? This is especially chronic lower back pain. It can improve the functionality of movement and ability. And obviously, just like mindsets, right? Like, so like because it's such a dynamic practice, it can have a very just wide ranging effect, not just physically, just overall. It can be pretty powerful, right? So what are the benefits? Where it can actually help you. So yoga might be beneficial when applied correctly. So like I said, it brings awareness to posture and breath, which are critical when you're in chronic back pain. It can encourage relaxation of specific muscles, tight muscles, right? That can be awesome when you're in back pain. It can improve pelvic stability and hip mobility. Those are both super important things when it comes to back support. And that's one of the reasons why you often hear it get prescribed from people, from doctors, because it typically is low impact and it's very accessible, right? So it's like one of those things. If it corrects most of the problems and you just throw it at a bunch of people, well, it's gonna solve most of people's problems, right? So that's exactly why it gets prescribed all the time. This is why. It's pretty straightforward, right? Makes sense. But here's where it can actually go wrong, right? Just because it might help a lot of people, it doesn't mean it's going to help everyone. And this is where a lot of people get stuck, right? Because not all yoga is created equal, and not all bodies are ready for every yoga pose. And that's the key. So, what are some of the downsides? Flexibility doesn't always equal stability. So many yoga poses stretch areas that are already like overstretched, right? So people with disc issues or chronic pain can run into problems here, right? If you're stretching out an area that needs stability, well, that's not going to be a positive outcome. It could probably just make the problem worse. Pushing into pain. In a class setting, you might feel pressure to perform, and that mindset can lead to flare-ups. And the place I really see this happen is people who are like hyper flexible or really competitive. So hyper flexible people are people who can get into positions. If you're out there, you just it's super easy. You can touch your toes. You can put your shoulder in crazy positions. Your joints are hypermobile, okay? And you can do the craziest, most advanced yoga poses upon just entering the class. And so by getting to those positions, you can actually be making your problem worse. And then on the other side, people who are like super competitive, they're like, yeah, I'm just gonna push. They're gonna try to jam themselves into the positions or hold positions that have tons of tension. And that could just be a recipe for disaster. Another thing is too much forward flexion. So rounding the spine, like child's pose, is a big one. Or when you go down and when you're just in a forward fold, I forget what it's called, but that can worsen conditions. Like if you have a herniated disc and your pain sensitivity is actually from flexion, that's gonna make it worse. It will. Like it's not a matter of if. Okay, so this is these are very serious concerns, right? And just because someone's doing yoga, they're flexible and pain free, doesn't mean it's the answer for your tight and painful body or your back, right? Flexibility, honestly, uh, is the result, but it's not the cure. Okay. So realistically, it's like there's so much more to back pain, and you probably feel tight because your body's protecting you because you're weak, right? So Dr. Stuart McGill is one of the OG spine specialists. He's a spine biomechanic. And he cautions against generalized stretching like yoga with a lot of back pain cases. And he emphasizes spine sparing movements and personalized approaches. So this is important because, like, realistically, it's often not about what we do, not adding more. So if you're not doing yoga, it's not often about adding more. It's about doing less in some cases, right? Until at least you're out of this really very sensitive pain loop that you may be in. Okay. So if you've heard this classic line before, I've heard it a lot. I've heard a lot of people say it. My doctor told me to try yoga. All right. Yeah, I do yoga. You know what? It's going to help you out. Hear that all the time, literally. Here's the reality. Doctors, they mean well, obviously, like they're trying to help you out, right? But most of them are not trained in movement. A lot of them don't even do it themselves. But realistically, even if they did, uh, that's not their specialty, right? That's not what they get trained to do. And so they're just giving generic advice that might help some, but not everyone. So just like I explained before, like if you say, hey, yoga generally helps 60% of the people, and they say, hey, go try yoga. Well, if you've tried it and it helps you, hooray, right? You've been saved. But if it doesn't, it makes it worse. And you're listening to them because, hey, you trust the doctor. I got to keep pushing through. Yoga's supposed to help me. Then you're going to be getting worse, right? So I want to say this clearly. This is so important because this is like the number one thing that I see, the number one mistake I see people make with their back pain. Okay. So if what you're doing is making your pain worse, it doesn't matter who recommended it, it's not right for your body right now. Okay. So, like, I tell my clients that I work with, literally, I say, just because I've told you to do 3 sets of 12 doesn't mean you do 3 sets of 12. Right? You listen to your body first. Your body knows, you know, right? And the problem is a lot of times we've just not been listening to our body. We've stopped listening to our body. And as a result of that, what happens? What we push through, right? It's fine. I'm supposed to do this. I got to get stronger or whatever it might be, right? Oh, the doctor told me to do this. My coach told me to do this. Let me do it. Okay. So your nervous system matters. Your spine mechanics matter. And what works for one person, might flare up another person. That's super important to remember. Okay. So really, back pain recovery isn't about finding the magic thing, right? The one exercise, the one workout. That is just not gonna. That is not going to fix your chronic back pain problem. So if you have chronic back pain, it's not happening. Okay. Now, if your back's a little bit tight, you could probably find a stretch that's gonna fix that. I'm talking about people who are suffering. You have flare-ups all the time, right? You push yourself, you don't know why you have a flare-up. If that's you, right, there's not going to be this one thing that's just going to fix you. All right. So what do you have to do? You have to understand your own pain triggers. You have to learn to understand them if you don't, and listen. If you're already getting pain notifications, you got to listen to them, right? You need to build tolerance through functional movement, and like I said, listening to your body and adapt, right? One thing I say to people is like, just because you can do something one week, the next week, if you can't do it, that doesn't, without pain, doesn't mean you push through, right? Oh, you could do it last week. I got to push through. No, don't push through. Listen to your body in that moment. Say, maybe I shouldn't push through today. For whatever reason, I'm just not there, right? So yoga can be a tool, but it's not the tool. There's no one tool. Deadlifts can be good too. So can walking. So can breathing. But context matters with this stuff, right? So you have to move in a way that feels safe, that feels pain-free, and that is progressive in nature. Okay, if you can hit those three things, you're probably going to get better. It feels safe, it's pain-free, and it's progressive, meaning that you're advancing, right? You're moving forward, but it's not putting you back. You're not having a big pain flare up, right? So here's what you can do instead. So stop picking the scab. So this is also a Stuart McGill saying. It really just means stop doing the things that trigger your pain, right? Even if they're supposed to help, right? That's probably the biggest thing. Pain is your body way of saying something isn't working, and that's important. Okay, so again, now there is some nuance here. There's maybe a right time to push through pain, but it's, again, when I say push through pain, it's like a 1 or a 2 on a scale of like 20. All right, you feel a little discomfort, but that, again, like I said, it's part of something that feels safe, generally pain-free, and it's progressive. You're getting better over weeks and months. Yeah. You need to practice spine hygiene daily. So what is spine hygiene? This is awareness around what postures that you need to be standing in to not pick the scab, taking regular movement breaks, avoiding long periods of sitting if sitting is bad, or standing if standing is bad, standing in one position. It's how you sit in the car if you have to. It's how you travel. It's like brushing your teeth. It's like all of these little things stack up. Because in the inverse of that, what I see with people all the time is they sit in this chair for 20 minutes badly, or maybe longer, and they travel, and then they bend a certain way, and then they wonder why at the end of the day they're in pain. They're like, wow, why my back pain just flared up on me? Well, I mean, obviously it's very obvious why, because again, they did not practice spine hygiene. Use micro dose workouts. So these are game changers. Okay. So these are short, gentle strength and mobility routines that you can do throughout the day to build capacity without pushing too hard. All right. So you are able to actually do movement. It's not a 1 hour workout. You're getting some movement in, right? And the idea behind a microdose is you pick 5 movements. They should all make you feel good. None of them should make you feel pain. And you can do them whenever you want. And you can do them when you're tight. You can do them to take a break. They're part of your daily plan. All right. So I have a training on that. So you can just message back pain in the comments. I'll send you the training on the microdose workouts if you want it. Another good thing you can do is track your flare-ups and wins. Okay. So keep a log of what movements feel good and then what tends to bring on pain. And this is going to help you understand the patterns and the triggers. Because if you don't even understand what's causing your pain, then what? How are you actually going to stop picking the scab, right? So if you're just like, oh, I don't know, my pain flared. I hear this from people all the time, by the way. I don't know why I have pain. Like I don't know what's causing it, right? But they've never actually taken the time to really figure out why. And so if you can do that and you can track it and you can track your wins as well, you can see what's actually listening. Okay, and lastly, this is the most important thing. Listen to your body. I should say, listen to yourself. It's you, right? It's you. You like when you're strong. You like when your body looks strong. You like when your body you can run a long distance or jump high, right? Or you look sexy in something. You like that. That's you. So when your body's in pain, it's also you. And the last thing that you need to do is drown it in meds, tell it to shut up. You need to open up your mind to listen to your body, build the mind-body connection. So if something causes pain today, you just regress it. It does not matter. If you could do it pain-free a week ago, but you can't today, that's okay. Just just regress. Listen to your body, because in the moment you may not have the capacity to do that in that moment. Progress doesn't come from pushing through at the end of the day, right? It comes from consistency over time, right? Small things, they add up, they build up over time. So just focus on that, okay? And realistically, at the end of the day, if you're ready to take the first step towards training, I have a free program. It's called the Back Pain Solution, and I will send it to you. Just comment back pain below, or DM me if you're on Instagram, however you're listening to me, but just send me the message back pain. I'll send you it. It's not just another random workout. It's literally a 5-day course that introduces you to the key steps to solving your back pain from the root. It's super simple. It's delivered in a very simple format. It has actionable steps that you can actually do. It does have workouts as well, protocols, things that are actually going to be helping solve the problem for the long term, right? It's not just a quick workout. I don't believe in that. Because the truth is, at the end of the day, solving back pain does require that holistic approach. Now, again, if you have a tight back, I'm not talking to you. You shouldn't be watching. I'm talking to you that you've been suffering for months or years, and you don't know where those pain flare-ups are coming in. If that's you, you need to solve it from a holistic. Holistic doesn't mean, burning incense and, eating, drinking stuff that's natural. That's not holistic. Well, what I mean by holistic is looking at your life from a holistic standpoint and factoring in all the things that could be or have put you in the position you're in right now and solving all of those. Okay. And so that back pain solution is about starting to get you thinking about that. It's everything I talked about here with the spine hygiene practices and moving the right way. Okay. So if you want that, just comment back pain is my gift to you so you can start your healing journey. And that's all I have today. So I hope it was helpful. Drop me a DM if you have any questions on Instagram. It's Darcy Koss, just DARCY COSS. It's not cross, it's COSS. Darcy DARCY. Drop me a DM, drop me a follow, and I'm out of here.